Fes Gymagif has je nog kijk Tynecastle agus na immers na farpischen Erbach ag skippe voidirach na halbe ga kursgetalle die eerst. Had de klichtjes van de hier turus hache de glasig agus na nieuwe nog ha Albania. Hallo, Fes Gymagif agus faltir of go Tynecastle appareiche erich galaken. Zal het keimoore je neitje nog Alpe tolle na Albania. Agus ha meer megoi klan faltir grielig uur njolige. Bis naar kutjach in neitje nog Suzanne Lappen. Suzanne, many thanks for joining us here on BBC Alpe. Set the scene for us. It's Scotland's first match in 7 months.
It's the first game in a long time for the girls, you know, to be back together as a squad. I think the mood in the camp this week would have been buoyant. They'll be looking to pick up on how they were playing, you know, pre-lockdown. They were really flying. 19 goals scored, 1 conceded in the 5 matches they played, and they'll be looking to pick up on that tonight.
It's quite strange not seeing fans here for this match tonight, but that doesn't matter. It's all about an important 3 points.
It's all about 3 points, you know, in groups like this it's about getting the points on the board. You know, Scotland are expected to go out and win here tonight and win comfortably, but it all comes down to the attitude of the players and putting in that performance to do so.
Great stuff, we'll come back to you in a short moment. Ach, an eistach yn dolach lein tîn fo ar schotje y skippe agus o mi hen fachel i'r Shelley Cair na Petrea. Shelley, it's a big night for yourself and your side. It's been a long wait. How much are you looking forward to seeing your side play international football once again?
Yeah, it's been 7 months since we've been together, but the players have trained well this week and we're really excited. Obviously, European qualifier, competitive game, and yeah, there's no fans, but we're looking forward to the game.
You were comfortable winners the last time you faced Albania. You're expected to win again tonight. How do your players handle that expectation?
I said to them today, you know, pressure is a privilege, and you're in a situation where you're a national team player, so it's up to the players to thrive in that environment, you know. And I think international football's like that. There's not such a thing as an easy game. Although we won comfortably the last game, last year in the campaign or 2 years ago, it was very tough for us away from home. So, you know, international teams, even if they're developing nations, they've always got players that can hurt you, and so we have to be mindful of that as well.
The domestic season began here in Scotland on Sunday. Have you got any concerns about match sharpness for the Scottish-based players?
Of course, but I have to be honest. It's a great testament to the players that, you know, this week in training they'll all look sharp. You know, whether they play abroad, whether they play in England or Scotland, they've all looked sharp and hungry. And we've got a common goal, and that's to try and get to another finals. And it starts again tonight by trying to get 3 points.
You spoke through the week about a feel-good factor in Scottish football. How much are you looking forward to playing your part and contributing to that?
Yeah, I mean, part of our motivational video this afternoon was the men's A squad. Fantastic they've done to obviously get into the playoff finals. The under-21s as well had a fantastic result. So we want to build the momentum and obviously inspire the nation. That's what Scottish national teams want to do. It doesn't always work out that way, but certainly we've played our part in the past, and it's great to see the men's team doing well as well.
Thanks, Shelley. All the very best tonight.
Thank you.
Shelley Cair on the Shittach. Suzanne, teams are lining up in the tunnels. Final thoughts going into this match then?
I fully expect Scotland to win tonight, you know, and to win comfortably. I think it's important that they got off to a good start. Shelley's put out a very attacking team. You know, I'm excited to see them here tonight, and it's important they get the points on the board and look forward to Tuesday.
Great stuff. We'll learn more from you throughout the match and commentary. Ach gedrast, als je niet al 0 kwalijk Henley at Dolkar sturig turn again.
More than Tanja Callum, you've fortune furstig, guys, me jedig hou al op fijn nimmertjach gedash getal. Agus naach gemkinjach naach more Hannah Godfrey in the state cool. Agus Lucy Graham, is Kirsty Hansen in Jonia in the state and skip a tonche hier nog. Agus naach voor de Chinamach Albania jechen ik had hier chikleach a chwarig machine chiog Shachpanjiak Antigona Hiska hakavieter na pushte nog nachelach Shachpanjiak gush. We gaan Chinamach alappe de tuvau agus Albania Chinamach van het tuvele hier is voor. Chidach maar een paar kun je vijf keer show ik Tynecastle naar de waterkarach tuvele na pathke agus Albania na leentje Jeraka Jessica Jeraka donu gaan we een Cuthbertischen ik count the street ik alappe spiesje dogish hanjadash leap Natul, maar de wijze game vergeten, game glee alappe koikunjani in Albania. How Lashin, Cuthbert, Ross Semsley, Godfrey, hier het game eigenlijk hoe die tul. Ik guess Christie liepen tul neigischen. náisiúnta seachat maha agus ciad cafa ciad Shella Kerr skippa gaichen iras iad gléis mar go bíag stú chiad da dhéamachcha an na buanaí I gléig bí son sinna chud go trí noch agus réiteide Graziella Peratore san as netalcha na hoffice noch Lucia Abruzzese agus Tiziana Traschiati na leisréiteid an ceirhofficeach Martina Molinaro agus ich bhór son Lucy Graham Sin stay an áte cym little am íana pátca éit an a fír bhaig Everton skippadach í a sin cuairsiar nach cúpa nefé aici se iad fada iad an náiad heachcain. Agus eiche bhór is an Antigona Hisca seachpan díach a gúis agus mar a bh migrá Roláimh Albania díachanach ag ciad chicléiach a chláraigh agus mar sin go fácail rúta an lax chaneal chicléiach a d bhéingin as mó. Jalan Gadokal Mastáisich I Gamesa agus Shella Kerr a bríne sinna Aisha agus skipaiche na huiad dhéanús an éhhealapa hócal féin chun na euros me géidir féin go cuairsintear nach cúpa na crinne sa rang agus beat a dóchas in is go féad cumá ar chúrsa is an na fapa sin Jorpach a bheits an na sasing blian na dhéidir iad blian na bhada churópa na skipian Bristúg iad fálamh agus Albania Jessica Atain Tolacharakel Suzanne Lappin Vos Colladum is Suzanne it has to be a concern for Albania that they're having to throw a 17-year-old goalkeeper into this game and presumably Scotland will be looking to test that goalkeeper early on.
Exactly, Scotland will be looking to get the first couple of minutes, get shots on target and really see what she's capable of, but it's a great positive for Scotland, looking back at the last match where they scored 5 goals, they'll be looking to build on that tonight.
Coig Turl as hiad game, Coig Turl an a game mille, Bic an blianich in a dash, agus Siga Cahoon an a game mille, Van Asaske, as Fitzrachu va game mille, was a bhuian sa noch, Kichpre sa cawl di Portugal 3 Cignoni, as game mille van a buiani, Nastraje, Fluchita da Kichpre sa da chudie, Jano, da Charsbuie, ta was 3 minutes in gachele, As mar is áist Dioch chronnig game, chluiche dan dal sias a dún glún, mar farst gana nimmert an oich Gran Cini. Agus a dáiste de gasan chears galúa, agus Shella i game sa chud a dó, agus Erin Cuthbert ag Chelsea, sciún na bhuiil, agus am cíneach golisio go bhí líp na cúnant na smó, vis ánt ag Albania noch. Is alapa fine I game gedol. Suag traed chúil de Hannah Godfrey ag Spurs. Chichinistay ga laatje Jen Beatty ha machad a gorstachu. Alleen muier a skulig almach Savinach kaintas on Emsley in the Duval. En vandaag een kilshock vina hier in zo'n Albania gaat de vier en die gloos de hoek al tra shies Lenguage ate. En Lachinko dat keta en sa firste keer te galappen skipplog uit je goal. Kirsty Hansen is klikke de Manchester United dag Tobin Heathich in the station, Kirsten Press, G.H. America, Cleach na path, you come al fach you find a stig and a skipper, and sat there, Shinaka like a skipper, Rachel Corsi, a Chinanal, a Chabal, Dolfa Rachel Boyle, Kumal Haja, Cool Yesh, Madavais, na Gamichin, and a Cooper Penitar, na Stride of Leon, and Gamichin Megedig, a Chlich, Alapa. Karam Trank Albania. Courage, Kel Paul was tegen Vox, Suchadasha, Kassen Pyramage, Hapulinga, Yitterchle, Jane Ross, fine. Karam Tansha Genoi, noch. Boyle, Stick a prolach Ross vegen die Granke Gadash go Cuthbert. Caroline Weir, he should target the valve. Picking to hit me in Caroline Weir running game. Shot caught him, try up Jane Ross to find a stick in the Voxa. I guess Hiska, Jake Layok, Shinka Makut Suzanne, that was a really good first touch by Jane Ross, and the goalkeeper did well, to be fair to her.
Yeah, she did do well. I actually thought Jane Ross might have been offside when the ball went through to her, but yeah, no, she did well for her first test as a 17-year-old. You know, you don't want to be facing Jane Ross that early, but good start and good chance for Scotland.
Sjokema, Mishnichal Tras again, is on a lopet. Boyle, Tadakshin Ruinach, Shindrawata, Ed Hoshachara. Well, we asked the question about her, Hiska, and whether she'd be up to this, Suzanne. This was the first real challenge, and she showed that she was more than ready for it.
It was, she did really well. You know, she's actually got the ball there with her feet, but she stood up and she's made Jane Ross, she made the task for Jane difficult, and she's won the ball with her legs, so that'll give her some confidence.
I guess she must have seen a yemig again, Kars Kuchuk. And we the finish or check it. Jane Ross is schuld in Kalische, Jaski Kilior Trasi Yem. Combination of the goal, no Yalappe. Nabras Nachtigav, Rachel Boyle, Santiga Shech of a Shin Mara Bachorgi, Sagogane the goal to Villa. Benita Courage at Yahoo is on Albania. Hij gaat Dash de Boyle. Maggie Dotchi, Fiach in de chevalijn van Smaakig. Maar de gutje Dash wippen. Howard Janema. I guess Courage die is Gascoop gevallen. Is Graham was station out of Fichit. Je gaan de Shabals en de Winjek mee aan het paadje. Hansen, Schulting Shia Salina. Die is. Ja, maar het Jane Ross had. Als je vallen wacht je gevat die Caroline Weir met de Rami en Caroline Weir je de echt een pik en te hoe Joel naar Kaun naar is wat checken wat hasje de games. Ga je vat kilo's en toosje goed. Cuthbert. Steek ook Graham bewaster. Yes. Ja, de hoogtjeuk Kleva Franja. Fijn tarsing is in Kostata gedaan. Mitchell Corsi. Check Birmingham City is assessing. Coachchen. Twee van paadje. Shall ik keer kan het niet van rieren. Shall ik maar skippaatje se toosje goed. En je zou meer Grimage. Coach Albania. Via de gievers gepullig goed dat er weer teul traag houden. Ach, maar Sheska la vier kunnen niet meer klaar. Hier Chikleach, ze merk worden was een running game, maar ik zag en je laat Jill gaan. Ik had zich gewoon te ken kadeslische zinnen, dat is Lee Alexander, ga ik je mag, kakutje goed. Corsi, dat is Godfrey, hoe de hier tuurlijk, nu tuurlijk te gelappen zich hier te jemetje, nu Albania. Boyle. Stukken Caroline Weir, Ryan Killior McCunny, Caroline Weir. Tot zeg het een gelukkig is. Via geen nerve was er. Sminke door shit shoe. She play portion of his own. And Suzanne, this is what you want to see Caroline Weir doing, taking on players and having pot shots from this kind of distance.
Yeah, exactly. I think we see her do it week in, week out for Man City. She's certainly capable from that range as we've seen before, but that one deflected wide.
Lele Valstui, Agasa, the Yugian, Yematura, the Bayraktari, Albiona, Bayraktari, Yemigishin, the Vinik, Vaklikatanak, Alapafashkara, Dochi, the Duval, say, Jachtolich, Satagashaka, like a Huchim Horch in Elena, and Shachagan, you who at Tull, Kinis again, Magyagakas and Savarch near the Grochaga, Kunyoni, Kipris, Shin Vishnach Vorgeisen, Yehain, Ayus, Spyramage. Who are the Turls again? Shinisha, Gronku, Wheel, Suez, Elena, Paramage, Julia Dashko, Alapakata. Corsi, sgwylio mach y ddiest. Emma Mitchell. Ash, skip a galop a cool please yn gymig yn fydd nysg y clich y greding. Hansen, sy'n ystod bec yn y ffad, gael schafo nach ti'n chach gyda sy'n ychwyd troen go Aaron Cuthbert, hyd y jef a Fanergi. Graham, mach go Emsley, mi sydd fi sach a trach, sio corym gynnys, sy'n ystod fan y chliaich, ac ystod as ystod go, Caroline wir, bec yn ei cwlwch, i fi bawl y dash. Droch fast, styc o Casan, Ross gyda, skipper. Ac Albania, mae'n cwyd sy'n y ffalaf o chwnod, Rachmani. Wy ar y ddies fiach yn di pas cymysych o troes, chai a ffwn y Casan. Claire Emsley. Claire Emsley hyn yn ystig Everton. Agus Hasan y coint a ddwrt lysio chwrs i'r yn achasyn. Ydw jydd na iedd y hechgyn sbi nwy Caroline wir sy'n gemsyn. Everton y dolc yma ffastwr Willie Kirk siaw hwtsi hybs ies yn asasing. Corsid sy'n ymach fwn o chwl agos sydd y glachgu Zilfi Bair Amaj, diolch gael legal yn yr y fai dolsiachad. Rhys James i fo Lucy Graham, sy'n y cyn nach aeg Albania plisio o'r gylwa. Mae'n ddys si ac iri i fwyd. Graham, siawn chlychydad hybs cwtioch go Casan Kirsty Hansen. Agus bal ma sy'n y cwl o lein y gian gyda'r Ross a ffain ddara gyda yef a chwyd hysga sŵa gyda sy'n. Agus sydd ddys. A sy'n cwtrymach Jane Ross thought she had opened the scoring here, I think, Suzanne.
Yeah, it was a great pass through to her and she timed her run perfectly there, but again, you know, the goalkeeper's done her job and stood up well.
Diw fawl o fawn fo Kirsty Hansen diolch gilior galach y ffas a chadwg a char a hysga agos yn clycyd dan Gian efo ffasgora. Ach Jane Ross siwltyn gael eisiau gymagu ar trad y desan. Jill Corsi, who is the two as a voxa, Caroline Weir, the loop of show still Caskli. Doin, Meist, look at down Albania. Fine here, Trunart the follow up. Bayraktari. Now the Dish Coramilla, I guess with Ella Hiska. Yemagi Coram Nagas on a bow line for Smach, the traps that she Ross of a Fiach in Coram Akruch at the Hujikanella. Ach, ar y bawl y ddash cymysych gyda'r. Any nerves she might have had have been settled in the first 10 minutes or so, Suzanne?
Yeah, she's had a lot of touches of the ball, but done well on every occasion. I think Jane Ross did well there and it was a good ball across, but again smothered and gathered by the goalkeeper.
Caffa cydalap hier tŵl a sioain Hansen a eisiau o iech yn fo aster agos safol ag yn y camera yn y fasyn fo Antigona Hiska fasyn y dolsiachad agos I think she's enjoying this now.
I think she's shown off now. She must have heard you saying she was young earlier.
Call her the cat from now on. Hiska, Jenna Matras again in Albania. Hansen. Caroline Weir, Gary Pass, Tarsing mi yn sy'n ffarl at all. Safinad Siamach go Claire Emsley, gyfel bec yn rŵm ei laif chli. Ddiest, diolch swy yn bec asyn. Tá sé bhfuil y fallabhúpa. The Vashia Giog Lucy Genie, who are the Suag in the Vowlet. Emma Mitchell, Coint, Halaglos at McCunniv, Cuthbert Fask, Emsley, Fiach in the tune that is still in a Voxa. Dotchi on the dash, Skiplach at your cool, I guess a fine of really follow up. Albania tolletje geleur bal horste galappe havorig wala khultinjake idash seliach heen geen tinjake seliach galappe misschien hakke we tullig te galappe pas ein trajach emsli fiach in die is femi Mitchell chillige dash en is gevi de poshen ake gaan hal en Mitchell Fakel shot clear Emsli heen Mitchell Corsi skipper de die Lucy Howard out of a ficket. Kirsty Hansen heen station. Emsli Shivdip, I guess had ik even een paar nations. Ga hier toe Kirsty Hansen Khomasi hier gevaarlijk. Chess had ik stevig sound te galoppen. Hier is fijn. Mitchell Boyle. Galshin. Going to son Jane Ross. She is a line of the de kopperige crew. Courage de eerste drop at, fijne steed hansje Jane Ross. Hansen, roomje heen, is de eerste poik in Kiljoor. En ze waren tegen Albania. Boyle, Doljechen, Uedele. Go Cuthbert, Tundag, a de eerste groen, Chimichaloris, Gutjevoed, Weir, Lecorum, toch een smoeien Urp. Tari could Kuchimorkata. Graham. Zoals Hansen en Gedish. Look at that, Jimmy Kalora. Free kick to Scotland, Suzanne, but it just shows you how hard Albania are working. They're really making it hard for Scotland to find any spaces near the box.
Yeah, they're working very hard for each other, you know, 2 or 3 people round the ball at the one time. I don't know how long they can sustain that for. It's important that Scotland use the spaces better, I think, but an opportunity here to either get a shot on goal or a tailing cross into the box.
Cuthbert, as we are asking the void. Agus réite dit yn y cynach y bala as y fel cerad. Had y dash y bachor gaf fi. Skipad na misg. Cuthbert Coshach fall off. Gael Ray Cholash na Caroline Weir. Fe di stewr fan y réite dit. Ni jack yn eisiau dy Shane Weir maha. Iach edrych ol I siol. Agus am yswynion gyro hysgad o lygain. Ik ysyn gyw. Yes, kind of dash edition. I think Caroline Weir will be expecting to hit the target from there, at least make the goalkeeper work.
Yeah, I think we'd expect her to hit the target. I'm surprised she went near post as well. You know, I'd always go across goal in that situation for any players following in for any rebounds.
Maar la goedje met Sheer hier in Albania. Sheer voegtige dash gaan ook maar hier. Een beetje leentje Gala stations na gala gevoerde station te galappen. Fijn traaien. Je moet te gaan dash. Gewoon goals. Tansje goede is. Dus je skippen dat gekorsie weer goede. Passen we zien aan de bekend terug platje. Je skill al kiljaar. Skjeetje. Elizage. Goemal boei per waaien. Fijn je pakken een goed van goal shit. Je geschuld in goed crew is aan te kopen. Weer een kleine poekjes en een kummel woepen. Hij is toch geroetig in vorst en nog gedoe die goggen. Nou, dat gebeurt eigenlijk hier. Kan je zo'n tul tra naar Boeringenwijn. En je laat heen haast. Dat hij de wie moeilijk gewil. Albania de wie vast naar jaar. Al lichaar tarnjach, agus die femia te wie 5 kilometers naar huis en zijn wat Kirsty Hansen een brein gewoksen naar de hansig in huis had. Al courage niet kienjach gedoe die bal. Shakara, agus weer ervan, agus hoe die Yeshua gaat, agus mag je zo'n preposhanjelle. Rahmani skippert, Gert, Foster, Emsli, Idish, van het huifhal. De gronke dash, de kop fris Chili, dash go Cuthbert, agus para batje tarsing. De volley, agus gavoor nach Rushen, is de goorlijk Nasluja is fashion the here to like great technique from Erin Cuthbert on the edge of the boxes, and she just couldn't keep the final effort down, although she was hurried into taking the shot early.
She was very unlucky. It was a great effort from Erin, but you know, it was a great corner to pick out at the back post in that second phase, and Erin unfortunate to see it come back off the crossbar.
Alla på Gronko i Doris med has the fair the Shahia Turl. See Graham schooling of wheel at Ash Rachel Corsi. Is it the gal big and Tagana? Graham the Shikoint the pass fatter like Tarsin the path go Emsleach Shin I the leg. Sashin fear van Kuchuk. Me and the path give up by the Majach, triple in worse and Nachaltinia, Macanya, Shisha, Cluche, Tronavian, can know, I dash down me and the path get Fiachandi, Dotchi, Vierlische Vaulat. Godfrey, kind weg of close to Macanya, Chanel, Seidel, Tarsing, Corsi, Mitchell. So, look at that, the foul, Genie, is Satagas Jachel at the Galapa. Weir. Yes, Kuchum Kahuded, Hansen, Masai, Kortal at the foul. Iramaj, Tarsing, the pathke, go Hamidi, and Yashinamur and Aichinte Mimosa Hamidi, China Klikita no Killer had the Hinnesteg and a skipper noch. At the Hal, me and a pathke shot, Cora McJane Ross, British Hansen and Tuve, Shin Farlatol, I fear the goal through the Vian, Stat Kachadorisha, I guess Haratinia, Ulental, the cool. I guess a G Shashin, the Dish, Rahmani, a skipper, I guess Bayraktari, Chamachig, if Kirsty Hansen, Chinakini, Nakhanigi, Selat, Darakac, Caroline Weir, Dolgiach in the Dish. Vi Dasha Voema Mitchell had the golden gem, so was the line of Hanachin, ha weird Chili Dash. Yan a pathke, Lucy Graham with the Glach, Anna Machishin, Franja, Lick Yemek Bayraktari, showing Karst the pass for Jane Ross, Fiachen the Hansen of Petroya, and Sashin of the U layout. Remsley dies to the lick out. I guess they can cook Koshak Falavation. Picket minute to the clock. Has the fade the Shahia tool. Born nach Durschen, a lish of the Vashin vo Erin Cuthbert picking finish in the dash. We are a skill on the wheel. Maras Giliorta Legion Gorama Stace of Oxa. We are as Hashach at the Rachel course in let's do the Evachia, I guess I could have fall off. I guess a brachter Habal Silian Corsia Habrachter Suez. Alapes Munion Karwata the Hiet, her line of Brachter Suez. Gematra, under Hay Balsa for the state. Scotland thinking they had opened the score in Ersasan, but the flag was up early here when that ball came in.
Well, no, I don't think that was offside at all. Having watched that back.
My Johan Shin, I guess that's doch gonna look at the Gian who are the sewer again. They can't gaan met de Shin, pushing us on Shin in the Dish. Albania is toch al forst aan de gaanje aslische Shin maha. Weer via die en de goelige die is gaan je Shinnereen. En Hemsley in is ja dat is gassen G through met Michael Fataju. Gad ich hier schön eine Philip. Es bei Tari Forster nach der Yield schönere. Weer go prachtig. Harsing. Is ik reem gaan jullie bal mag. Kimmische geleerd. Karam Sue uit de show. Here's this goal, non-goal. She's not off there, Suzanne, is she?
She's not off there at all, and you know, then the last touch is off the Albania defender. So yeah, for me, you know, that goal should have stood. Rachel will be very frustrated at that because, you know, she stayed up for the ball to come over again, and she's put it away nicely at the back post. So yeah, I think Scotland should be 1-0 up.
No, Cogan Ukuma Crew gedal op Rachel Corsi is minion kero. De hier tel goed, ga je goed gemaakt. Je hebt tosje gediest. Dat je bij de maatje Anjel tenje, is misschien kan bij kars hier kars woeien gaan again, Michelle Kuchuk. Het kars woeien te maken, ze kars woeien bij Lorok. Is Rachel Boyle fine hier kars woeien gaan again. I think she feared this was going to be a red, Suzanne. She took a red out of her pocket, but it's a yellow.
Yeah, for a moment I think Rachel was worried. Yeah, she has pulled her back there. I'm surprised, you know, it's a yellow card as there was multiple Scotland players back, but yeah, the referee's shown her the yellow card.
It's famous Rachel Boyle via the 5 kills in a chor in the game. Dot she, Lisha Vowlestay. The eerste session at Chien for Boyle. Bekan Fugu show in klikt aan Gianna Albania hadden de weer de pillige stuive hossige game maar de fijn Suez go kill nil in de paadje. Zat de vaak al show går courage en ons was vader ging keer show de line ge. Ga ik zien de week maar crew. Na Godfrey de Val agus clean sin bhuaig peshe a cléúne agus gronchen de vitolke magi chinste gana skippa kalappe ein tuil se hier diemeche yes kaint de kude sin noch musuringi Baie maar zijn gesoe megede gashin har courses renima chumalestei Kus de week Lee Alexander die ene wat hij zijn opgeruimd maar ze dies wat Unsiana mag zijn is weet je de zuur de portje gaat dag sjenulik Weer le room me in een paadje toch alle kien je gaat al pas uurtig het gaan maar zijn hij de goal tars in een paadje die is Graham, vader ging ik begorgen weer 7 de pijn. Ik had chuk met de gunte gereedje dat die ga je de game haringen dash. Weer ergens zijn de gaalt kuddetje gelijk kursie. Kaffa Karanje Marco Emsley. Into coach Albania Duval. Grimasha. Je gaat zo'n klikje dan. Ik wist niet goed. Ja, tolletje zeg maar dat is stitje gestegen. Zo je een kindje nog aan je lappen. Heel ja zo zo'n. Niet je goed het vuil gaat. Yes, kogen nu een oorsen met Lenguage. Jane Ross. Bij Tari in de laar Kuchuk. Albania will be quite happy with this, Suzanne. They've come here to make it hard for Scotland, and their coach very vocal, and they can be fairly happy with the way the game's gone so far.
Yeah, they will be. You know, nearly 30 minutes gone, and you know they're working so hard for each other. You know, they're putting Scotland under a lot of pressure when they're on the ball. They're not giving them any time or space. But I think that's, you know, where Scotland need to be a bit smarter and a bit more, you know, stay in your shape. I think in games like this there's a danger that, you know, everybody wants to go forward, everybody wants to drive into the space, but actually you're taking away the spaces for the players that we want to be in there, the likes of Erin. And I think, you know, that's what Scotland need to be a bit more focused on, is maintaining their shape and using the spaces better.
Carsfúile sin Chinamacha Poch go réite the son is skipad like Albania. Rahmani fine Nadara Carsfúile. Réite the Chachana Kenya had triplet echilish na Cars na sin Chenilese on a gow. Lash na Poch go nisht. Godfrey, gyda just take a Cassin Jane Ross, tune the achad these, Cheshin of the U leg le Iractari. Cuthbert Fechan the tune dag is Vishin Kaforsta Naki, I guess. Do the Boshanyas, Hiska Daltarsing, I guess Junakini nach Shin the Machason, the Boshan. Duval, she is William Mitchell. Lucy Graham. Albania tolletje geleerd dat je zo had zijn game zijn passing in sluit dat het je goed. Cuthbert, de sleep wheel se tune deck en nu naam zijn worsten de tune deck dash verder wil. Taich je de cool over Graham, zorge bassen was in troje waarde, nu leeg le Rahmani. Graham, kagronke is geven hem lekker in loekelijks, hem zich groeien in oorsten in de steden, hij is Picard Vuille, zo Aminaveres, en je Dutchie kunt dat de shin, ach. I'm saying that je kleva, cheva Giano, zo wat clear hemsley, re follow with Benner Lachki. She's been getting a bit of treatment in this first half, Suzanne.
She has, but she's one of the players, you know, that Albania need to work hard to stop. She's a very dangerous threat for Scotland going forward. But the referee, you know, she's pulled out the yellow card 3 times now in the last 10 minutes.
Sin tráig an triplet go ní Alexander Gutas a bhí clúich a bhór mian a páthci le mar a game a gol. Buir siúndaig Chimichael Baira Marska oprechuig de machach díis had a god ascan a leine gian san le Paulson Chomavo Caroline Weir sin fa product Rachel Boyd's fame should be faithfulach sheen agus stug a new session. Rachel Boyd has to be careful going into those kind of challenges, Suzanne.
She does, you know, and it's came off her, you know, she's not got the ball under control, and it's went into a 50-50 with the Albania player, and unfortunately she's got away with one there.
Het Carsfúile mar ha König, agus rut me gedig we gige dal op is game se vi tok ala dara Carsfúile. Adam crashin ha had gana khukita da Kipres Viano has a game no Portugal na strijd in Jesker. Hokita Carsfúile te vestay pick and vinachin. Tot Chile Cheval stay Corsi or Lecount. Lashek Maggie Dochi Kini Hokishihin Carsfúile. Eerste bal de Hyundai is de Sylvie Bairamash gaat het tinje steeds vokse Cuthberts Juval shin Kahini gemach go Jane Ross of it tarren mach en a line flee nische fe de clear Emsley chindi two Iractari muy coldy is Jano Kulior at the Vima G shin Iractari is Rahmani mi an Yelena Gian As yn y ffadach yn gybachor y cogen y fydd y go lewysins, a mi ticsyn sy'n, am sy'n gydwydd a sŵg. Ar y chlygyt y galop e'r at ymach. Mitchell. Ein y son, Emsley ddiysg. Wff. A bydd hi'n sy'n fasyn, agos. Bwys i Graham, dyn y matchach tchichig ymach as yr fad eisiau. Franja. I thought she did well to get it out of the way. If she hadn't read that, it could have been a sore one, Suzanne.
It could have been a sore one. I think Lucy's been on the end of a few already in this game. But yeah, Albania are putting up a fight anyway, at least when Scotland get the ball.
Vi kan makro is hier het lees Albania en je leest op hier de vrouw kijken als deze die shot de Shinjiano bij Raktari agus de eerste rate de tolke pochke. Nou wel, wil je de hintje narig? De eerste, je moet zien van een goal met Jane Ross. Stoch nach Rocky Leuren va I mag roi dolke poch ge die is te reach da kharash mi keduki mag khashvu yite geshin stoch jara vege de shin kuyuna kuye asur de a galope an een maatje verder bug no shin kasorje Caroline Weir gesho iron Cuthbert heen berg laie de val shinere ni jide gestegen en valle en gesnat ma voor kan like nach de vidishat Mitchell, je kan die ook aan de eerste stijg goed delen. Bij Raktari is een da intrap is daar hoe dus ga een val af. Bij de match, je kan die dodge je kan dus deze Mitchell. Mag bes onafzag crew je mee aan de paadje. Bij de match als laatste naar Rachel Corsi is een. Tranja terug wel woe pesje dashko Cassen Caroline Weir this year dashko weer Emsley de Moei Cuthbert stay Jane Ross McKenna Norint weer gesleg en jelle bal Emsley makeljorig nischak Cuthbert vo aster se dies spoik gehelikel as a rat the lamachison prepotion and that has been the story time after time Suzanne if it's not Rahmani it's Bayraktari just last ditch challenges getting their way in anything that's coming in from Scotland.
Yeah, throwing their bodies on the line. But again, it's, you know, Erin's picked up the ball well and she's done well to get her shot off. You know, I don't know how long Albania can, you know, sustain this for with the tackles and the last ditch tackles and throwing their bodies in the line and Scotland just need to keep this going.
Weir. Gasglia nu dele so dele. Bayraktari, le count, gain a fella mas rutiga Jane Ross. Droch Eunsi, Ela, schön. Het Kirsty Hansen en drups is a fisgebied karsvuye to de mache show. Gekine ga karsvuye de mach. Sylvie Twairmage va edash kutchule in a chien. Sinkar a kassen a falla voipe goide agus action gro a kind na sminstoch en va a chaishi heen in de gol gan a lior. Through initiative Karsvuye Hokal the Albania I guess Rachel Boyle a gallop a kuchach Slugin at 10 minutes in Goleune I guess Caramilla a gallop it Caroline Weir the loop a shove on it Stephen and Duval Duval, lees ik hier turn, Rachel Corsi zijn trappen, een prachtige punnig is, het heel zo koentig, hij is met jedig haal up the Kia turn line. And Suzanne, having been denied earlier, there was no denying that one. It's a great ball in by Caroline Weir, and Rachel Corsi, much to the delight of Shelley Kerr, has finally put Scotland ahead.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic ball by Caroline Weir. You know, all Rachel has to do is get her head on that and direct it, and it's in the back of the net. It's a perfect goal for Scotland, and you know it's probably should be Scotland second and Rachel second. She should be sitting on a hat trick, but no, it's a great finish and it's just what Scotland need.
With Antigona Hiska Sua get a Hapurin bal Humalamach va Njarst for Jean Corsair o Lanchet agus Fear Yuval vo Caroline Weir ystau agus sy'n yn tyl i'r alap y ffeimach. Skip at Shilting and Liagaib. Caroline Weir yn eisiau dash sa fog sy'n hyn sy'n cyn a caeliad tyl a siwy tyl o chwydau cychiawn nila. Ys y ddys Gillens, Cassan Skippelte sy'n fo Weir agus Ross is mynd gyda Bayraktari ag lychet ad y Betynach, vaak lychet ad illa de cooler ag mani gyda fydd y gol ceb na gael. Psychologically, that's got to be important for Scotland, and you feel for Albania. They were probably hoping to hang in till half-time, and to lose a goal at this stage, it's dispiriting for them.
It's very dispiriting for them, but I think, you know, from Scotland's point of view, hopefully we can see them relax a bit more on the ball, you know, use it better, do the things that they're good at well, get the key players on the ball. It's a perfect time to score that goal. You know, I think before the game we might have expected Scotland to be 2-3-0 up here at this point in time, but hopefully they can go on and build on this goal now.
Wel, the codach gyfi I gad hosiach agus bro gar the Shinvo and Cuthbert sydd Bayraktari agus glycyd a Gian at Fudach iddo lar. Bayraktari hyn ac a gael Carsgilior agus so was go Hamidi and Luring Yisha Chumal Kata Kirsty Hansen agus Claire Emsley big at the game of Giano dras and channeling Leonia Diach Vechendich aardige pick Giano. Just saying there, Suzanne, it's interesting that Kirsty Hansen and Emsley have swapped wings, just a wee bit to freshen things up as we approach half time.
I think so. You know, I think for all Scotland, you know, they've certainly dominated possession. I don't think they've got their best players on the ball in the right positions in this first half. You know, I think Shelley would want Claire on the ball more, Kirsty on the ball more, Erin on the ball more, and hopefully that's something that they can work on and build on in the second half.
Karsvuia Ella is on Albania show to the well dois de hini stays and Shin Elizaj with the I'm seeing a bowlach licky Cuthbert I guess Shin inish Koikner wicket nachgesen with Karsten Puye hookal. Godfrey, Duval the eerst, drops at Rachel Boyle, fine, a cool line, Paula Stjach, Cuthbert, I guess Stjach at the first. Fear Duval, cautious, and have born at the other that at all. Suzanne, that was really good play from Scotland, good ball, finding Rachel Boyle in space, inch perfect cross, and she was not far away with that header, Erin Cuthbert.
It was brilliant play, you know, the ball went up to Jane, and she's dropped and played it back to the defence, and you've seen at that point Erin making that run in behind. Great pick out from Rachel, and unfortunate just to see the header go past the post.
Jane Ross is say the cool Kucha Haratin to Lagain Shin Erin Cuthbert. It's be Fadachin Kabahorgi via Jenna Bear Shinani Darakach. Godfrey, pass Cymru Shachela Swiss go Cass and Jane Ross ac yn ringi tune daes a chwmal. Washin Rutigan Kedich for Godfrey, triplet shot by Ramaj agus Smanach roi Comisach Gilioris on Lan Vraga l'addition. Just a wee lapse of concentration there from Hannah. Underhit that pass and luckily Bayramaj wasn't able to capitalise.
Yeah, sometimes in these games when you've got too much time, you know, losing your concentration is your biggest enemy, and nearly a chance there for Albania.
Kirsty Hansen like Kian Ela, Shahata Jane Ross, Kumi, Claire Emsley show us take it, Rachel Boyle, Ada Cool. Hanna Halfe met Claire Emsley or a Dawn, Hanna Foster Cool, a dish. I guess Vutik shin Pistu, Gatches a beat and Natishin, and the Gadashko, Elizaj who the fall off. Hier Haraka you, Chili Adash, throw Erin Cuthbert, I guess finish Caroline Weir, Hansen, Ada Duval, Droch Fasketa, Ada Chachat. Franja out of Leval, Mia in the Patke. Yes, ring Courage Martian, finally get Hoshachid Emsley. Beginnes Avinach go Leonia. Yes, Alapastoch, a coin to Shadaratul, look at the Glens Nashar, the Hiat Lisa. Corsi, coin to Calaglos at the Hain, Gal Kimmel and Suez gonna leak Albania. Hanston, Fiahandi, Kusi, you know, is a shined. Skipper Akel, a big and triple J Duval. Emma Mitchell, Gutch, Slacht Nagaso, Selena, Norsen, Chile, and a skipper that gets a board dog, so say the Val Ginshigin J. Noon Varach of Zakins when you get a minute ahead, some Charaviga the Shin. Elizaj took out a wheel, the Albania Heneltinia, who was the Kelm there in the pathkit. Into the last minute of the first half, then Suzanne, will Shelley Kerr be reasonably happy with the way the team performed first half?
I think she'll be reasonably happy, you know, as I say, I think, you know, Scotland have had all the possession and all the ball. But I think, you know, I think she'll be wanting to get the key players on the ball more, you know, keep their shape a bit more. As I said earlier, you know, in games like these it's easy for everybody to want to go forward and make those runs into the channels, but it's important that you keep your shape and you keep the spaces for the likes of Erin and Claire Emsley and Kirsty to run into. But you know, we should be delighted to be going in 1-0 up, should really be 2-0 up, but I think she'll be looking for a bit more in open play in the second half.
Vinach Viedig in a Hiatley, voor het chien se fall off, I guess, in a chill, Swinian Digol, has to feed the Jeravig edition. Nishcha Jeravig Shinachien. And Mitchell in a state. Vienna Pathke. Emsley. When you hear the Hillikelistay, Mongelkel sin Fasketjedig Heatley, Shinasharach and Yellow pass the dash Macalar, who to get this Chico, Erin Cuthbert, the here two, the Rawata Hoshaharain, he has the lot, Nishkedico Casson. Yes, Nishmikel Kirsty Hansen, Lua Kiliora show Humalistay. I guess the Garishan Erkutches on a Heatley. Hiska, Gudic, Bayraktari, reach the Su Loginuata, Nietzsche, Knapia, lies the Turchiatli, Kakown, I guess, Alapitalistai, Ed Hoshach, they shed hurl of Ashin, well, Vakodak, Erin Cuthbert, Hey Fash, Turusnaga, Isolation Akshay Skipper, Rachel Corsi, who had the new hurl, Yanakiat, Leila Count, Caroline Weir, the Cheval the State. Shoak Tynecastle, a Shinny Kielachu, Gavil, Alaped Hoshach, Tail Kinyani, Ed Albania.
Wel, a laf an och gereg skip in a halopek in níide seo dolas teach go le chuúne spisin a bheits tíidecha cearsteid leis sé darna leis. Well, as ní neistal a chléintín go héit in a cluiche ar in tían ag alape. Nes tá cluiche lochas in a cheirh turas gan na dúich ag go bhfuil buntanas ag a máid agus a cúsne a bhí dul mac a díú an na hanig is teach gan a skippe. Seo go bhaneist Anna Godfrey.
Hannah, getting started in the game as a little girl, was that an easy thing for you? Was it a family thing? What made you get involved in football?
So my earliest memory was when I was about 4 years old. So I had a best friend in school and we did everything together. We'd kick around the playground together. And he told me he was going to a soccer school camp. So I was like, oh, that sounds like really fun. So I asked my mum if I could go with him, and she was like, of course, like just go and have fun, go and do whatever. So I went with him and ended up just loving it, falling in love with the game. And then obviously growing up, I spent a lot of time up in Scotland with my family. My cousin loved playing football. We was always out the front, kicking around the street. And I just remember my mum always telling me, he made a comment about like, wow, like this girl can actually play. So I think it's just funny because that's just what I used to do with the boys. I would just kick a ball around and then obviously fell in love with the sport. Soccer school I went to was Thornton Cleaver's Football Club, and they were obviously a grassroots team, and I grew up just playing in these different age groups. And then I played for just the boys team at first because they didn't have a girls team. So me and my friends, we would just go and play, and we played every Saturday. And then eventually I was old enough and we were allowed to form a girls team. So it was really exciting because then I could play for both the boys and the girls and still really love my football. So I was playing every day. Obviously, when I was at home, I was in the streets, I was playing with my friends, but I played for Thornton all the way up till I was about 11. And then that's when I got scouted onto academy.
Tell me about the academies. So you went to Blackburn first, and then you were part of Manchester City as well. So
yes.
What was that like, for you?
Yeah, so Blackburn was obviously a huge step up from grassroots. So that was exciting. I was training like 2-3 times a week, and we were playing matches against other like Premier League teams. So that became more professional setup, obviously from a younger age. I just grew up playing for Blackburn, and it was just, I absolutely loved it. Like, they helped me develop. They're probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm here today. And then when it got to senior football, so women's football, after the age of 16, you then have to choose if you wanted to maybe try for another team or see what happens. And I ended up trialing for a couple of teams, and Man City was the one that I wanted to go to. It was a big step up in terms of facilities and stuff, and it was just a completely different environment from one that I'd grown up in. But compared to where Man City are today, it wasn't. You could tell they were progressing with a final goal of where they're at today, but it was a lot different back then. But I still knew that like one day this club, you could just tell their expectations, their goals, their planning was just amazing.
And at that point, were you already thinking about trying to take football as far as you could go in terms of seeing if there was any kind of career out of it, or was there still not really the thoughts of a pro career at that time?
Well, I think at Man City, it was we were training so often, so I was driving down over to Manchester most nights of the week, and it started to feel more, not full time, but it started to feel more serious. I knew I was in love with the sport. I knew I didn't really want to do anything else, and I was in the development squad at Man City, so I knew there was always this possible chance of breaking into the first team, which is obviously now then full-time football. So I had a few training sessions. Nick Pusher was amazing. He would bring in young development players and let them come in and train. So yeah, I knew I loved the sport. I knew I just wanted to keep playing no matter what and see where it took me.
And it took you to South Alabama College. Tell me how that came about. I mean, that's a massive move for a young girl.
Yeah, so like I said, when I was at Man City, I always knew, look, if I keep working, the end goal could be Man City first team, and that was huge. That was just amazing. So I was almost set on staying in Manchester. But then I had two friends that flew over to Alabama, and I was like, oh, that's cool, like, it's amazing. And then they started sending pictures and social media, and I was just like, wow, that really does look amazing. So then they started to like almost selling it to me. And they said, look, our manager's interested in you, at least like maybe come and look or whatever. So we came and watched the Man City game, and he spoke to me at the end, and he just asked me what the plan was. And obviously I told him, and he just said, listen, we'll fly you out for 5 days and just see if you like it. If you don't, you don't. Let's just see. So I flew out, and it sold me from the minute I stepped off the plane. It was just the whole thing about it. Plus, you get your education, you play football every day, you're almost full-time, living as close to a professional life as you can out there. So yeah, I just thought I might as well at least go out there and see what happens. I can always just come home. Man City were amazing. They were really supportive. And that was it. I ended up there for 4 years.
So you then get your first pro contract with Spurs in July 2019. How did Spurs come calling for you?
So during the end of my time at South Alabama, I was getting close to graduating, and I was really set, like, I do want to play professional, but I just wasn't sure where. And I was like, maybe I just need to explore my options. Maybe it could mean I have to go on trial somewhere. So I ended up just getting an agent, and we communicated. And I had a trial at another WSL club. So I think I planned it to where I had like 2 to 3 weeks to get home, jet lag, recover, like get some touches on the ball before my trial. But as I was about to come home, I got a phone call saying Spurs want to see you next week. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go do my best, like do whatever I can and see what comes out of it. So I ended up the following week driving down to London. I had a 2-day trial, and on the second day, I was offered my first professional contract, which was really exciting.
Yeah, how does that feel? You know, when you perhaps in your mind weren't thinking that was what you were ready for in terms of coming back from America, you maybe weren't giving yourself enough preparation time, but you go, you do your trial, and a couple of days later, they're asking you if you want to sign professional contract. How big a moment was that for you, and how did your family react to it?
Yeah, my family were absolutely over the moon. They are hands down my biggest support system, and the reason I am here where I am today. It was all just happened so fast. A lot of things just happened so fast, and it was meant to be. I guess I came home and I was there in time, and the girls were absolutely amazing. So I knew like Spurs just ticked every single box. So I didn't end up even trialing. I didn't even end up attending the second trial. I was just like, this is 100% where I want to be. I just got a really good feeling, and I was just so excited to get started.
So how do you enjoy playing in the WSL then? I mean, you were voted the fans player of the year for your first season there in Spurs' first season in the WSL. How much do you enjoy playing at that level? Yeah,
I love it. I mean, everyone wants to play at the top, and I don't think many people can argue the WSL is one of, if not the best league in the world. Especially now the calibre of players coming in, like it's just an honour. Like sometimes I just have to sit back and think, I can't believe I'm playing alongside or against some of the best players in the world. But I think that's where I've always dreamt to be. I've always wanted to be at the top, and I know this is just the start. So I think Spurs is a great foundation, and they're just going to keep pushing and pushing, and they know how far I can get personally. So I really like how they just want to develop, and I'm excited to see how far we can get as a club and me as an individual.
And you're now playing alongside Alex Morgan. That tells you, you know, the kind of player that the WSL and Spurs as a club can attract.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive honour. I think it's amazing that she's chose Spurs, and we're an amazing club, and I know she's loved it since she stepped foot through the door, and I just think she's a huge name in the game, but she's also like an amazing person to have on the pitch, off the pitch. She's a prime example of a professional, so I'm really excited to see how much more we can all learn from her.
And then you had your call up for Scotland just after the World Cup. What was that like for you? Was that a big moment for you as well?
Oh, it was huge. It was almost a blur because it happened just so fast. I remember coming back from America with a plan in my head. I had this 4-year plan. By 4 years, I want professional football and international football, and I knew Scotland's who I wanted to play for. They have a massive place in my heart. My mum's my biggest fan. So I was coming back, and I obviously knew I wanted to play. I knew I wanted to get on the radar. And then fast forward to October, and I'm getting a phone call off Shelley saying, basically, pack your bag. So it was just all happened so fast. And obviously then I was flying out to Scotland, then to Albania, in the Euro qualifiers. It wasn't even just a training camp or anything. It was straight in there, which I love. I think I thrive more off competition and big games. So yeah, it was amazing. It was very fast, and it was very exciting. But I'm excited to see how far we can go.
So you make your debut against Albania. Maybe the dream is to score, maybe a 30-yarder, but your goal wasn't exactly like that.
It wasn't far off.
What are your memories of it? I mean, it's still a massive, massive moment for you.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, all I remember was I was so focused in the game, and I was excited. We were keeping possession, we were on the ball, and first of all, I didn't even expect to start. I was ready to start, but it maybe wasn't expected in my first sort of camp international break. So yeah, all I remember is I was going up for a set piece, and we ended up playing it short, and Erin puts an absolute beautiful ball in behind. Luckily, I timed my run and volleyed it into the top corner. And then it took me a few chances, but it went over the line, so that's the main thing. I still got on the score sheet.
And how much do you feel part of the squad? I mean, in terms of the spirit that's in that squad. I mean, your mum's from Glasgow, so I'm assuming you can understand most of them.
Yeah.
But in terms of that feeling amongst the team, how is that for you?
Yeah, I mean, from the minute I walked through the door, I just remember the lift opening, everyone was there, and everyone was just so welcoming. Everyone took their time at breakfast to come and speak to me, and that was just massive for me, because obviously any new player in any team, it's always a bit, am I going to fit in? But straight away, I think I just fit straight in, and I just think the girls, everyone, even the staff, everyone was just really welcoming, and I never really felt like the new person. And obviously we've played against a lot of the girls in WSL, so they are familiar faces, they're not strangers or anything. So yeah, I was really happy. They made me feel really welcome.
Sin cosna ceirh cepa cheannach go seo ag Tynecastle sin féú. This is quick an sin that's a macha clúne. Suzanne Lappin, Conadum, Suzanne, you're fond of a headed goal or two in your own time. This was a pretty good example of that art from Rachel Corsie.
Yeah, taught her everything she knows. No, it's a fantastic ball. It's the dream ball if you're up there wanting a header. And Rachel's just timed her run perfectly, and all she has to do is get something on it. It might even have came off her shoulder there looking at that, but it's a great goal, and it's just what Scotland needed at that time.
Sin Nuntul Ivan Sahiatli, I guess Albania Chinamach, he is fine. I guess we gasen dornach get the heil the tulchen chinsuas kaleune. I guess Smunian could be arach straight away there. Suzanne can see that Kirsty Smith is going to come on the second half, presumably for Rachel Boyle.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think that's a surprise, nothing to do with, how Rachel's performed, but she's on a booking, and, we've seen the way this referee is giving out cards here tonight. So, yeah, I presume Kirsty's a straight swap for Rachel.
Gerab agad sin gyrru Rachel Boyle a hatal ye, cogan y ciolwch le Rachel Boyle a tokal cars fwy le slid yn y hyd le fasyn. Agus cerad cwtioch ag Albania a tokal cars yn bwyach yn yla sgwad achgus yn gymwr di sgwad yn halapa. Agus emi asan fi y ffaichial ys yn y chor yen y gemse. Le Alexander Fisker de week maakje zag ik die geschots bij dogeske Len Emerson en ik moet je dan makanje het al aan een kerkel het hosach het daar de is haast Kirsty Smith veel die fijn de vaak Shelley yn y clychyd yn ag Manchester United, Sinead. Ond i Jane Ross, is Kirsty Hansen. Agus ydol ystod y chwl. Di tyf Godfrey, is Corsi, agus Emma Mitchell. Albania ydol chwyd dar y gêm gydol. Is nad y hoch gachgysyn. Sylvie Bayramaj, fe di Kate Shiniano. Wyt y asyniadalch cwyd dar y li gydol. Wir stick o Cassan Cuthbert. Agus Corsi, Janakinianach. Ag Albania, dat de gezoeske kan nelen en paadje tra Sadarli. Geen kooi kunjoni, want ze hier het game met de dag u zo. Jach karm gaan kine skipien. Hansen. Franja, Jach Tolletje, ook al legaat te bievallen. Albania, Athen genadig ag leeuwne, maar marashu fachken, Karsten Puye Kilior, in het ook al, maar ga ik leven in het oord. Maar die tansje keem roetiken sluitig stochen. Weer le laard zoals kant. Van Lucy Graham, we wisten we wie aan een paadje. Ja, daar is een shot stoken geit. Put in together in Cuthbert is le. Alexander gaat skuilig gemaakt, getuig ille woksen. Godfrey, Juval Lushin, hier Talia in je Kirsten Smith, Puchtig Suez, Dushin, couldn't get in a steak, and a vox of Penna, Shaka, Buringi, Shinoprachuk, Cuthbert. Bishina Vishnaki Gita, Gavili comes to find Suez a Dushin, I mean, is je Satig Shach Hashogal, a Dushin and a Fatk. Corsi who had een tuil in een game ik shows ze va al begonnen wie het tuil de lijn kutje hij hoe gemaakt maar als je misschien in de jaren uit wat kan ik tuil we zien wie is chef de geef tuil hele een trace daar die Ross slip al mag Hansen hier toe ik had je vallen boy paketa hoe meeste garobal mag Albania krakero is Elizage je gniaatjes te pie grand jiesje. Smith, Geary, Cluchadan, Shin Fashgara, Ross, Chilting, Tundak, Riish, Chaskipat, Rahmani, the cool looks and a bow line to fill up. Riish, Ross, the Darakach, we can crank with Ashley Ken with the Lichikabug, Emsley, Napashgara. Graham Kuddish leis a bhall sin sa Godfrey an the bic an triple at seo agus Slav Suas. Well, Hannah Godfrey looks like she took a sore one there, but which is probably just as well, Suzanne, because she had lost the ball and had the play not been stopped, Bayramaj would have been right through there.
She would have been. The referee took a while as well to stop the play. You know, I think she's potentially won the ball cleanly there. But yeah, she's awarded the foul to Scotland.
I'm saying you could do it, Hannah Godfrey, full obligation. I can't show that you could do so with the here the fatk. Jiknaga, you dash the foul in this. Gan y fi go Graham, agus big an rŵm mae Carlin wirach a ddi eisiau sŵ chi a tŵ rwyd yn traw. Ni fi ddasio gyda. Hansen. Fi eisiau silt yn cael ei dol. Agus mas asa jail gyda si sy'n. Cuthbert fiach yn di. A'n y ffalaf y trwyd. Sy'n ma either Hansen agus Mitchell, bawd yn ystaf Hansen, chan y fast a chwl, agus chan o'r un, the Claire Emsley, that again, or Lisha. To be fair to Susanna, was probably too close to the byline to get on target, but she was probably trying to knock it back, and there was no one there for her.
She was. It was great play by Scotland down the left-hand side with Emma Mitchell and Kirsty Hansen. It's a great ball, just a bit too high for Claire to get on the end of.
Kirsty Hansen, Duval tarsing when a live cleat. Yes, shall I care? Angel Chachin. Chachada Gavik Leonis, Kimmery Chachin of the Sans, and you'll call us Gavil Kusara as the dog Pluchaka, Duval the state, so the Ish by Rectari, Gadius Kiln of Hulatinia. Yes, Albania, the ball of chest doch corner now Marakel at the fast with the can ski. Yes, seems the anima had good Lucy Graham. The game with Ashkatol Marha. Hansen, the is to find a fallavach, Galava, Cass, Foy, pushing that a way could have really stayed. By Rectari, larger than the ish. This Suag Magiddick. Weir, met Ash gaan skippen wegje. Weir gaat de Jane Ross zo bij Giri in de shin fiaching. Emsley gesu Selena. Al haas kunnen golle mag. Duval. Game come on, all the rest. Yes, verder geen café mal op. Game game hook out. Had al gain a data to the shot. Eerste bal wat het hansje het Claire Emsley. Early in the second half, Suzanne, it looks pretty much like the first half, more of the same. Is that a surprise? There's no more intensity in Scotland early in the second half?
Yeah, you would have expected a bit more intensity from Scotland. You know, I think it started like the first half. You know, Albania are working hard again, you know, or winning the balls that they're breaking to them. But I think Scotland, you know, they need to just use the ball better. They are, you know, down this left-hand side early in the first half. They've worked the combinations well, and I think they need to look to do that more as the game goes on.
Weir fachyn tori yn y fwyl sy'n skipel to the end with the ish. Corum with the ish check Emsley. Well, she bawd ma sio the yarg dash go weir ach the ish by the maj le. Usi Scania Lela Hansen agus Mike Shinamach she play Bosch and you've sound. Bayraktari le Shinusi vashin out of a cook. Agus Caroline Weir sminning Croatia. That a line of show. Again, it's an excellent challenge, you have to say, Susan, from Bayraktari.
It is, it's a brilliant challenge again, throwing her body on the line, and then the second one when it falls to Kirsty Hansen as well. But a good pick out from Claire Emsley, you know, getting the head up and looking to pick tailing crosses out now.
Coramelach Vona, the Bosch and Mahat. Godfrey va fiach in die ceann einige. Mitchell cwmalach lwychio sia sydd y lain fiesio sy'n fer y filad y fi, hadda sy'n y minut yn fygedig, nisht lwychio sy'n tarsyn gan y fi ein. Yna Godfrey. Nisht eidrych gwrdd yn mengflal ysio ffasa fy sy'n ymach fan y chw. A cha cwmal Albania sy'n fwgsach gehyn. Armir Grimash, fallach yn gyfil. Maar goed, niet lekker in verder gaan na hulk wie kut mag geshow maar je wel op niet te gaan rie lijn. Triple just moe gas en nachel kolas draske juke wil het tolgaine vuil zal groege kormen. Maar je wie zie dat ze could staat het al op ach sto just toch korm gei. Dotchi ach femi chili gedasher genel dinge maar kan je. Weer Lies kind of son Jane Ross agus goed to well Emsley around I guess never is great fiachin in the Tarakachin. Again, this was a good ball, Suzanne, and not sure if this was an effort on target or a cross.
I think it was an effort on target, but no, a great ball from the midfield played out to Claire Emsley, and I think because the goalkeepers came out, you know, she's decided to try and take that shot on, but couldn't keep it under the crossbar.
I'll have a famous at the Dara tool last shot at that. I think Sochri here going cheers and fine get that shot caught. Oh, brachtig so it's no Jane Ross. But again, good interplay, Suzanne. It's like they're almost knocking at the door now, and you feel that if they get this second goal, they'll be a bit more comfortable in the way they approach the rest of the second half.
Yeah, it's much better from Scotland, you know, 1 and 2 touch in and around the box and getting the combinations, you know, and Jane's just unfortunately not timed a run there, but you know, I think it is coming, and as you say, if they get that second goal, they can relax a bit more into the game.
Met de vierde jaar dat je al nille kutje geta, as Kirsten Smith en ik de son Rachel Boyle het Killior in Val, Achen Sadarale Emsley. Well, wij first en geshin. I think the reaction says it all, doesn't it, Suzanne?
I'm surprised that coach is still in the touchline, to be honest, but yeah, it definitely wasn't a foul.
And cognition come crew. Het bij de match, hij is reach de initiële preen de schootje, hij is aan de skere nu te wijzen ik raad. Kutje na kogenien, ik reach de virutte genamazig, graziella, piraziore. Die is Caroline Weir. Giet dat de kant dan doen dan naar de bal lachen. Hansen, ga goed, zoals alleen. We are the Shelting, great ook ook alles te ja genomen. Was de falaf of Franja. Alap Jessica on Argentinian with a two-foul. She is weer goals te laten. Cuthbert, Shachat de Franja, is Jachan de Paul getraaid, go Jane Ross is. Je moet graag naar goed is correct. Jane Ross of Shachat kiezen ko is het al je. Godfrey die is chinnestig en de Albania. Ross. Die eerste goed aan Albania, je getach goedjes we zijn korm te galappen naar haartje naar Chiniano. Dus Fiskerak, Lucy Graham, Shachat, Leanne Crichton en Chined naar Hutchison. Dus daar aardig. Maar dan hebben we Jane Ross het al je, hij is Martha Thomas, Chinid na Hutchison. Suzanne, changes that you'd expect, just like for like changes, aren't they?
Like for like changes, but I think Shelley's looking to bring a bit of freshness and some new ideas, particularly in midfield. Leanne just sitting, it might allow the likes of Caroline to push on a wee bit. How capable and dangerous she is in and around the box, but Martha Thomas up front, she might be able to hold the ball and link the play up better for the combination play in and around the box.
Cerw cech by Martha Thomas. Goed geweerd klichtje te Hassing, ach reunig klichtje te galoppen, tuve maat. Da heel lechtjes is hier het game met je goedje genoeg Ukraine. Agus point de Koerdische nadefsje nog. Va enkel lechtje va klichtje te operain. Jim Kirkland bleef in het asje en again lechtje te galoppen. Vies Jemig skipper the news is an Kars Ragmani. As Kirsty Smith of Achinistay McCassin. Kulasal, Hemsley, Achadish skipper Leich Kacharon Gunnart. Martha Thomas Tarignada Rachel the Merha, he Nagas Rahmani. Agus Hiska begint te gelaberd het alles in het driedag gezien. Ach, mijn naver is gere reetje de kraan. Neem puchtig ze PVL keta Hiska tjege de gulastijse Thomas de fuchtig mijn drink. Volgens je gaat de vallig in kevel. Is je kevi kunartig signeer. We hier geen maar zo. Paul de chin tarsing. Agus bisjeke Lian krijten. Chiligedash. Voor Elizage. Hansen, agus Bíis dói chodicin de chúmat sin is dói ní sé sat agus seacha hán agus bíis bairachtári gatsilik a léile stig an a chula iúnsi agus stócha forstanach a seo bhí ut a cinanamach a seo Kirsty Hansen iechyd I glachgi. Thomas Sin ma gachum al suas yn oes yn y bieg Hansen gajarig adash go Erin Cuthbert fiach yn di pas a chutraach a trús cerad sarant ar ha ma gybyd diach fiach yn di snala chutra húlan y snach fiach yn di ein go Emsley iddo dúfáw. Hansen, die is hier live gestat. Chili gedash gaine dash voor Mitchell. Als je het opbrug trap na ja, ach, je gewate het That's a partnership that's worked in the second half. Just too much in that return ball from Mitchell.
It has, it's worked well. You know, I think Kirsty Hansen, it's the first time I've really seen her up close. I think she's worked well and worked tirelessly all day. And you know, Emma Mitchell, a very experienced player, likes to get the ball down and play and go forward. And I think those two can cause a lot of problems for Scotland, not just in this game, but other games as well.
Neil Kapaksepi, the Hisket Shogal, Jonas Leach, Tuville, Vuksevik, Marigu to see up there. By the Mashka, you don't go the earth, Dutchy, if you can define it, Mitchell Corsiation, you'd hush a hurry. What can drop in this game? She's Albania, Gairi, I guess, and Jagus Cuthbert and calling me in a path cushion. We are the Ishkiri at Hansen, Suasalina. Yes, by Rectari, the Ish, Kudapu, Getri Haines, Hansen. Shall I care a meurach with Kimara Suringi? That a toe line a shot. And Crichton the Duval. Union Harich in the you know, Trasa Darali, Hines Martha Thomas at Jeanette. Mitchell Benicavouilis Cuthbert to the Fakal Lar Weir Fady Hansen Kudisha Bowler stick Olach I'm assuming you could have looked in your favour this day Savina Yari Dash go Caroline Weir. Maybe the wrong choice of ball there, Suzanne. Should just whip that across the box.
I think that was the wrong option there. You know, like say Emma Mitchell had continued to run into the box there. I think the ball had to get into the box. But better play from Scotland, you know, moving it quicker. The quicker they move it, the harder it is for Albania to stop them.
Aardig on Albania maha Sylvie Bayramaj hadden we fiachen de kluche trano je hadden we meer een paardje gematrichtje in de race Zitchin na haatje Christina Maxuti Bayramaj fijn mollig van een goedjes aan een open ijsje de Giano. Kalas taletje doe ze bier wel gaan nodig aan naar geld ne klikt aan ek kiloor gedestig aan de games Smith Crichton Chakaran Chown geta the ball gauw. The longer it goes 1-0, Suzanne, the more you're encouraging Albania in a way. You're giving them something to hang on to. Scotland need to get the second goal just to put the game beyond doubt.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the game of football, you know, if the scoreline's only 1-0, the other team are very much in the game. I think Scotland are desperate to get this second goal here that kills off the game. But Albania, you know, they're still working hard, still fighting for every ball. You know, it's difficult to see them creating an opportunity, perhaps on their own, but you know, even more emphasis on Scotland to keep their concentration at the back the longer it stays 1-0.
Ball Prisha Casson, Martha Thomas, a Caroline Weir, Divistegi, Kirsty Hansen and Divui, Shin Ferlatol, Krisha Ball Stake, Kolak, Dish, Coela, Bayraktari, Asarat, Dash, go Crichton, Dish, Korama, Kirsty Hansen, Ball Lillock of the State, Eshal, Dash, go Mitchell, Emma Mitchell, Fiachan the Rumi, Yenny, Shin Nashar, a Dish, a Kelm, Asarat, a Shin, Courage drops it. Gaan een val af gesaveltje, Kirsty Smith, gehokal. Je gaat dus niet meer gemeld als het Downs zegt. De Franja, stukken Weir, je weet dat Shovel Hansen, Genoorsen. Dotchi, Janukileorison, Merach gehaald, de bal de Noorsen, het Chile gedacht, verder reed je de. Hij liep alles game, kom al het ook het. Misschien dat is mini hier de staat, dat Haringenschen, Bonnegoel. Lene Elizage for Kirsty Hansen. Kirsty Hansen has been good, Suzanne, but I don't know about you, but I feel she's kind of slowing down a bit as the game goes on. That might be maybe another area where Shelley might look to freshen up.
Yeah, I think she has played well. I think she's worked really hard going up and down this left-hand side. But as you say, in the last couple of minutes, maybe starting to tire, as you can see from her, you know, she's getting into good positions and the cross is perhaps not there, but you know, Shelley has got options on the bench to freshen it up, and it might be something she looks to do to try and get this second goal.
Weir, Dish, Canela, Bowles and Rui, Nichanuya, Martha Thomas. Corsi has the Lekische Jeffer etter the daskipper. Godfrey. Ja, en dat ik in ook al zo als aviation is. Wat toch wel als je is krijgt in de vaak de zaal. Well, geforst nog dat er niet zien je. But I think that just goes back to the conversation we were just having, Suzanne. Just one mistake in a key part of the pitch and you could be setting yourself up for an equaliser.
Yeah, exactly, it is. It's just that lack of concentration, one mistake, you know, fortunately for Scotland, you know, in games like tonight, they're not being punished for those mistakes. You know, games like Tuesday night, they will be punished. So you need to do all the basic things right in all games. But as you say, the longer this game goes on, you know, and it's 1-0, Albania's tails will be up. You know, they'll be pushing on, they'll be digging that bit deeper and working harder. So it's up to Scotland to put the tie to bed.
Wel, fysgybí siel y cer y mewr o'ch gyda sy'n jail y swrn gianw son jwch y gem sy'n yn ysgwrt ala agos barach ferach gen sy'n ystod gan y chwychach y gem ydyr a mae'r gem ydy gael y ddwrd agos Albania Dayan jydysych has dy fiach yn di greu mwch ymwneud y gem sy'n sydoch ys gyffaiad tyl a chicken. Right-yn, so let's go Emsley. Emsley has a dolk yma lwa y dŵs yn ach yn ylla. Laat gaffain sŵs gycawn nil yn y path gyfer y fwydig miastig ys croni yno. Wir, toch alle Keens, kan het cael y glwys het. Martha Thomas, fiach yn dysyn y heddig sy'n ddys, Bayraktari. Al toch ys o'ch fawn, Hansen. Fiach yn dych hwnnw bel, cw'n gyda dolgwlar, agos chan yl y reach y dolog sy'n, dy Martha Thomas ysyd, chai sias, y coint ys on bydd finish, yn laat y sy'n sŵr fydde pe fysawn, dy Albania. Was this a shout for a penalty, Suzanne?
I think it was a shout, you know, I think they're both challenging for the ball. But yeah, I don't think there's enough in that, to be honest, to award the penalty.
Would have been soft, wouldn't it?
It would have been soft. I think it's the story of the night, though, you know, the way the ball's bouncing around. You know, you've got Albania and Scotland players both going for it. We need the Scotland ball players to get on the ball, you know, and really move the ball about, move it with pace, to get the Albania players moving out of position and create space to get this second goal.
Arachel is in Albania, Hamidi Itolje, agus Kondresa Krasniki, Chinid na haatje, hadden we Tsjech, Klichitad, ook Kunata Gille. Weer, doen man, maar ik ben talige wielig gevat de duel. Alexander, de Artsuus, Franja, Bunjaki Hiet Wou, Jorge Bunjaki Leon Krijtenjo. Emselijke Gummeletol, Nish, Tochkel Korremak, Martha Thomas, de show fijn gaan een val. Maar, we gaan Nurenji Gummelestein als moer. Rahmani, die is fijn. Nieuws is een kerst, de skipper dat Albania. Nou, Martha Thomas, de fijne vallen, waar Erin Cuthbert, de vijfde cheval was die. Corsi. Kaint is aan de derde tuil, lijkt je wat koud, je kaint aan de dres tuil. Tuil, nach rotat kjaren de goede mag, trase game. Alleen weer in de duel. Loopig, Sjøs Sjech. De Sjeko Hansen, Hilius Døya. Bayraktari ka Hilige mag geta. Mitchell, zoals alleen is Hansen het je normaal die is fijn je vallen van ongelijkheid, dagelijkheid. Nur in die bouwlijn is de Isha Lacharwako, Tunjach Lene jou. Rahmani, skipper dat is raad. Hij is Paul Ma, een show de goedje. Hij is show kon naar Dotje, al traaien Lee Alexander, de leeg, hij is de vallen af gesabeltje. Joch Ravig in te Galapagata, Nurin te Albania, Teen, Pristjug, Gaster, Thomas, had je gebracht zoals de Martha Thomas, Le Corme Daratul, is Glishki in de Hanik, Hiska, mag kan je. Ook een bagage weet je een pers in Martha Thomas. En ze die is, weet je de survey wel, Hanel, en jullie. Hier is de game, kom al het al. Had de coin te zo'n survey de persoon. Dotje is kaag. Cuthbert, ik pik aan een steen en is hier en vijf de passen kunnen goed draaien. Emsley het al maar train, she is live yes, ach, courage, shin as the rat. Should Martha Thomas have done better here, Suzanne?
I think so, to be honest. I think she was caught in two minds there when you look at it again. I think she was debating whether to take it round the goalkeeper or whether to hit the shot early, and it's really a mixture of both. But it came from Albania, a chance at the other end, and credit to Lee Alexander, who's had nothing to do the whole game, but switched on enough to come out and clear the lines for Scotland.
Nice shot, Goran Vision, Koramak Albania. Agus Maggie Dochi va fiach in the fine try. Agus König Shushahuad Union at all and no Kichpris. Agus Drew Valda the Elias the Cuthbert Dashka Weir. Agus Hannig on the state. Doy Hodikin who had a sewer gear on to Sheikh. Agus Caroline Weir. In the lap goed aan de zee Kamanas Kortala de Kastel na Huad Hadaka Vapik and Forsten aan. Is the ball to Sheikh at the Hiska. Susanna thought the opportunity had gone there. Somehow it ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was surprised to see Erin actually play it back. I thought she was going to turn and have the shot. But credit to her seeing that Caroline was available at the edge of the box. Not surprised to see, it's deflected and in, given the way every shot's went tonight. But I think we can see what happens, when Caroline Weir is actually up at the box and having shots.
And it's Arbiona Bayraktari who's been so good at the heart of that centre of defence, and she couldn't get out of the way. The touch took it away from the goalkeeper. Yeah,
it's unfortunate, as I say, they've been putting their bodies online all night, so I'm not surprised that the Scotland goal is the ADA deflection. But it was better play from Scotland, and good awareness for Erin to find Caroline at the edge of the box.
Well, hawn je niet al op een vierende tool naar de lijn. Ach, had de daghul als je nein. Agus Beatnas Court alle de linsjen. Unsi Anna Michael is in voor Franja Erin Cuthbert. Hij de fakel in de laar. Weet je de in de kastje nog maar na poche sedarele. Waar Pietje na gaak Franja zo de Cuthbert Mr. Ruki or me yedig. Weir Suesko Mitchell, Agus Hansen. He's giving the push and yes, the shot. Leer Emsley, Chantarsing, Ugal shot. Weir Fashkara, Acharishmikar on the Shinato. Stay on the VI. Emsley, Doing van de vaste goal. Yes. Godfrey, Vachina Station, Brinny A. Voor Kiri Lian Kraitenakal. Yes. Putting you Tarakic again. This is a half chances, and she should probably have done better at the back post here.
Yeah, she's unmarked at the back post. She should at least be trying to make the goalkeeper work from there. But a great pick out from the corner from Claire Emsley.
You say that should Valley the Val Claire Emsley game accord to the Inish. That hurl Nish coint gemanas cortala son alape. Dat Chishal Hasketa, I guess. Line weer via de buchtige door, toch zorge bouw als je een boeipet. Juhu over Cuthbert game for smacks. Weer Nikashle Purinte Elizage staat te gedorren. Smith. Schulian Crichton. Godfrey, Susko Thomas, Rish, Puringi, ein Edhashachid Brahmani, Sadish, Koramach Pistushach, Corsi, Luakilioris, Svein Hanishin, Edhashachid Maksuti. Thomas, Gahunda Gamach, Emsley. Cumalora is the Juyem the Viech, Shakuchuk, Pia, Caroline Weir, Karamasho, the Pagisidi, Shafine, Sua, get the rat to stay for Franja. Still Gidach, Shechko, Brolia Hiska, Shintash Korum, Hunarkina, came more to Donny, Fapishia, Dukan in the band, Tomashadish, Alapano, ranks, he should Shinek, Chich in the Stuiga. I guess the door, it's going to not have a knock up at Chelsea. Tlia Gallop, Ashana Dochas, Hana Course and Jernach, Foon Line. No, you jam coach, Anna Signol. He should shin Jamarsh. I guess the Shinatonsh, quick minute in the Stewie K, Fisker. Jich minute in Yalun Yavashuk, Idakal. How do Scotland handle this 10 minutes that's left? Suzanne, do they settle for this? Do they manage? Do they see the game out, or do they go for more?
That's a good question. You know, I think the nature of the people that are on that park at the moment, you know, probably doesn't suit them to try and sit in and hold out to keep the 2-0. So I wouldn't, you know, I'd expect them still to be trying to go forward whenever they have the opportunity to. But at the same time, you know, with the likes of Leanne Crichton on the park, you know, the experience of Rachel Cossey, they'll be emphasising how important it is to keep it tight and not lose any goals.
En je lukt hier te legaal like in ieder zo'n doge piech hoort de Albania's nu je had aangehaald. Smith, Suasalina, Shachat de Emsley. Cuthbert, the later Gish. I guess Norton Emsley, generally Chile Gadash. Crichton, tuned up again room, I hear me in the pathke. I is the Dish. Put into Martha Thomas a bowl, I shouldn't have heard let. Weir. Juhu Cuthbert. Emsley Erie. Weir. Nille Balchen Massagierigi in the jarige Mach. Masrutigat Kirsty Hansen. Voor is het te galop bouwlijn dash. Nu hebben we de rest lijnen shot. Emsley vegen die ene heen. Kunnen garantos tegen de volks het nerpetje is de bij Rectarische Raantag. Je wat karamelle. Thomas, Agus Emsley, moeite duschen. Claire Emsley. Staat Chile Gadash. Leanne Crichton smuinig hier Paulo ook alles te zoek trouwen voor Kirsty Smith. Gehoortje dash. De Albania is een isje karamakke. Wel wat Fiach de Paulo goed, Shachat de Gouleshin, kom ik stutie, Godfrey Sarat. Gaf ze pie dalappe. Bouwlijn daar, Sjaas en Valken kilate, noppen die Giano nog. Stekok, Kassen, Cuthbert, Tundag, die gaat hem zo. Courage is raad, zijn oorsen wijze Cuthbert geroat. Daar gaan je de poschens likkie. Nou, we maken de koeling. Emsley, er al 0, trap ze. Ishakal Smachse, Caroline Weir had de week gal. Want Hoefchen. Godfrey, Corsi, Crichton, Hansen, Ullus, de favorite. With the uplift of Leanne Crichton, Gadish. Rectari, Slater, Geshach, Gain, a follow up. Juvalva Mitchell. Yes, got the Emsley, Huchashari and yes, Cuthbert and Norsen the Likal. Well, who'll make a ride the Glick of the Albania, Likal Dotchiach, who is the Pia Reach of the Sadakrishan, the Killish game, come on at all. So we're trying with the ish here too over Kirsty Smith. Right, and Gasco op Tarsenko Hansen ha kumala dolach a fast ski mar a hula touch and Kuchidi again. Skill snarkishin kata. Cuthbert trying to cast and Elizage. Shin mara ni show etter Nakasan. Shin snark vo Krasniki. Merachin Kilorish in the stig in the game. Cuthbert, Jenna with a boxer, Tarsing, Yatul, Agus Shachat. Signs that both sides are tiring a bit, Suzanne. A lot of errors, enforced errors creeping into the play.
I think so, particularly Albania. You know, they've worked so hard without the ball, which is a very difficult thing to do in football. I think Scotland as well, you know, they've worked hard to try and create opportunities all night, particularly the wide players, you know, Hansen and Emsley. You can see in the last couple of minutes, you know, maybe just the final ball is let them away, just due to tiredness.
Dotchi die is vegen die gulletnie grand gaan we gulletnie lei heen. Weer Pia Hansen die is en maar tjoen de gevallen betruud. Kom Martha Thomas, hij is wel geen bal. Maar jij maak je door vegen die Emsley, de stay de cool, goed de karm bij jou haast. Dashko Hansen, je gaat nog maar pel. Yes, je gaat Nuringev. Ein Treue, Krasniki in is vegen de plisstuges aan Albania. Mitchell Corsi, Klechke Kujelis, Paul Lichar, Konata Gavashin, Tarsing, Vuksevo, Emsley. Suzanne, it's a couple of minutes left. A few candidates, I'd imagine, for your player of the game tonight.
Yeah, you know, I think Scotland obviously dominated possession. You know, I think Rachel's been good at the back, you know, her goal. But I think for me, Caroline Weir tonight has stood out. I'm a big fan of hers anyway. You know, I think in games like this tonight, you need players who are comfortable in the ball and keep moving it and keep ticking it over. You know, an assist and a goal as well. So another strong performance from Caroline Weir.
Caroline Weir sarch look at the game agus Slavach Sichiatul like Rachel Corsi agus Heen Saska Morse Daratul so gechin far Bayraktari van an uur by Chayasjach as Weer Golash in Daratul had the last 3 pingen to galappen. We had the Vikon San Parach Curl ach 3 pingen ek kanaal shin on the scooter make it as we are Haring het asjeshin de Elizage. Manile Kafak vegen de Einsues go Krasniki. Sisha is callig jou vadag in Rutikin Jano. Son Albania, I guess hij is zat gestjech en hier is voor Emma Mitchell. Cuthbert. Het doet die vallen. Elizage kus staat terug. Die is Dotchi. Kijk eens aan het zuur. De hipse drapse. Hij gaan. En is Cuthbert en College. Je gaat even mee boksen. Nou, is er Dotchi kui de kijk dat de zonnetje nog waar te kan aan. Wat je heel erg reach dit. En Cuthbert kan je krijgen gogenig. Karsten van. Dotchi heen. Had al gaal show College. We mee ballen go dash. Nasatje nashin. Akos schoon je kata. Chinsu is gaan vintage vergeten te gaan avastig. Megi Dochi Maha, Vili Dolgain Rutikane Darakac, Vanisho, Shinay Fiachen, Harushin Fata. Cheers, Machanya Vala Grau, Meslika Le, Nurpachachat, Suzanne, that's as close as they've come.
It is. I think it's the first real opportunity. It's actually a decent strike, you know, it's not too far away from dipping under the crossbar. But you know, the opportunities have been few and far between for Albania tonight. They've worked hard, but you know, just Scotland the better team in the end.
Cuthbert Juval trying to the Kirsia. Nurgi Hokal Shachat Jickley. By the Hinamach, I was good to give you in the Piach in this chase million. I said, she should have taken that first time, Suzanne. The goalkeeper was off her line.
Yeah.
But easier said than done, isn't it?
It is, yeah, football's an easy game from up here. But, you know, I think when she watches that back, you know, I think Shelley as well will be saying, you know, particularly to Kirsty and Claire, both had similar opportunities, you know, to get their head up, and, you know, they're in those forward positions for a reason, and to have shots on goal.
That's where you need just that wee bit of composure. And
it is, yeah, I think if she got her head up there, you know, she'd have seen the goalkeeper coming out. And then the opportunity was there just to lift it over her head.
Albiona Bayraktari the lot, just fein het Shanach George. I guess 4 game of the Vietje. Shall I care a kind na Susnell and Ishkeville and Pingen. As a Fokke, hij dochas, hij is Toshige Smunian Mayen. Het is go Helsinki, so na game Jamarst. Hier het Vinach, 3 minutes in te gaan je waardig de goal shachat. We talish je gebouw gemal is je gewel nasask ed 3 pingenelle hokal. Ik kan je tor je show zo'n vintage vergeten. Martha Thomas, en ik vind de pingis van Juchor met geen likje schachat. Hansen College is nog op de post en jij naar de show. Heeft Juval ook al eens steeds. Siska ga je tourneke. Martha Thomas is op de finish show. Martha Thomas de lekal. Agus Hiska je nou verder. Het doe die bal de vallen als Franja. Vasasischen. Martha Thomas and clear penalty. Was this a clear penalty, Suzanne?
I think it was. You know, I think she's went to take the ball past and just taken out. But it was great play from Scotland. You know, I think we spoke earlier, would they still go forward? The answer to that is yes, you know, in the 92nd minute.
Caroline Weir, le Coram, Sheloch of the Nike, Ashkisha, Agus the Kalapa, van a spot finish. Weir, Ishal Cheers Gamotion, Agus Alapa, 3 Canyoni, in Hoshach, Agus Hashach at the Kashin, Shinrut of a Yi, Jerkson, Shiddish, Achuda the Kech, the Knock. It's exactly what Scotland needed to round it off, Suzanne, from your player of the game.
It was, you know, when Caroline stepped up there was only going to be one outcome, you know, very composed, putting it in the opposite corner from where the goalkeeper went. But a great way for Scotland to finish, you know, a goal in the last minute sets them up nicely for Tuesday.
Va Brock Franja Art, va Brock Caroline Weir, Erapsach Ishal, Shears Ganoshan. Hij hiska a duvel Albania daar you know chicken vergedig en je shinkevi kjefer als een schachat in de noenje waarach genischt skan kabi union dat dele you know weet je de lekker lisje jem kom al talketa de sule en oort de nish sa nichak dol napial USP son games horske count Howlan Lawn, Lee Alexander, Gary the Hulitnya, Close and Suas, Keith Minachin, the Gunya Varaka, the Golshachat, sport de vraag is een shot on line. Fuse got him Shiniano. Rate the torchy game could count 3 pinganilla son Shelly Care. Agus all up it. Agus da goed. Could Melanerk. De Kele. Agus be all up it. Just college in the pingan ook al geen game a pair. Rachel Corsi could good. Ede Dlia. Agus Norsen van Ewing Caroline Weir. De Shadaratul, agus just chicken forgetting on noon varach van a spot finish could glens Nashar Ida Nike son all up agus shin 3 chemic in Nishmacha 3 hat de Vinnick agus we did the Nishigol go Helsinki film line on the Jewhund son a game Chutramach Jamar Sachin na game as Nimmerch agus as een brein, ik tasje game met geen hiska. Ik zei, je fijn mollige shintje is deze dan een giet game. Ik je nog de niet giechels en alle puggen met mag. Is toch een middagje, als je dit finish of je bekodig toch in de bouwelijk wachtgezag. We gaan de vallen vle doen, route ga ik er in en je gaat door Albanië, ik laat niet van ruurigje. Le Marachai, de neigje. Suzanne, looking back at the goals as they came, it took a while for this goal to come, but it was well executed when it did.
It was a brilliant goal, you know, a brilliant set piece, great delivery from Caroline and great header from Rachel. And you know, from the first half, it's probably the only way Scotland were going to score, you know, the way that Albania were putting their bodies in the line. But you know, Rachel will always finish those kind of opportunities when they come to her in the box.
Wel, nara fema kit het low kind of son skipper agus click it on Albania. Genu slie ye. Agus ye magalap an Orson Fave Grushes on the data had to wait a while for the second goal, Suzanne, and this is really the one that decided the outcome of the game, wasn't it?
It was. It was the one Scotland badly needed. You know, as we said, as the longer the game went on 1-0, Albania have always got that opportunity. But I think, you know, when Leanne came on, it allowed Caroline to step that bit further up the pitch, and you know, you want her at the edge of the box, you want her having shots, and albeit by the aid of a deflection, but you know, she's more than capable, and it was great to see her hit the back of the net for the second goal.
If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery, and she got a bit lucky with the touch off Bayraktari. He was immense at the heart of that Albania defence. Yeah,
exactly. But I think Scotland had numerous shots from the outside of the box, you know, and unfortunately this one went into the back of the net.
As a brain lean and a lean ga skiplachig suas, I guess an eiche chin count. I guess Coram Joch Sul a hort the Carl Chinafaka Lollapa who've Buyani. I guess game on Nochail, Cyprus, Vinnick, Portugal. Agus all up Inish Suas Sadara, Pingid Yedig, it feels like the game more Ashin, Jamarsh, Howl, and Helsinki. I guess Koramachagul as a goon, the game, Varach the Quickie, Mani, at Chin, Chashiltin Ho, Kutramach, Saha, a game shin. I guess Siminika Vilshin Fashkinish, Chiklingin Vo, Sar Quickie to the game, Caroline Weir, he is Conti Callum.
Caroline, many congratulations on tonight's victory. Bit tough at times, but you got there at the end.
Yeah, I think it was always going to go like that. We had to be patient. Albania came over, they had a game plan, and yeah, it was just about us having quality in the final third. I think we were getting a little bit frustrated, but you know, in the end we've scored 3 goals, so we'll take that and move on to the next game. 2
goals and an assist for yourself. You must be delighted with your own contribution to the match.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to contribute like that, but the most important thing is 3 points. I think we're just so happy to be back playing. It's been a long 6 months since our last game, and yeah, to go out there and get 3 points in a not very pretty game and quite a difficult game at times, we're happy with that, and we move on to Finland now.
And attention will turn to Finland. Do you expect a tougher contest from them?
Yeah, I think so. I think Finland will be physical. It's always hard to go away and play teams like that. So yeah, we'll look at them over the weekend, and I think if we kind of up our quality in the final third and cause them problems, we can hopefully get a positive result out there.
We'll hear now from the skipper, Rachel. What's your own take on that tonight?
Yeah, I think you could see we're frustrated in the first half. It was difficult to kind of get the ball down and create quality chances, and we obviously knew there was a lot of pressure to get the result, and it can be frustrating when it's 0-0 for such a long time, but I think on the whole it was professional. I think we did well to manage the game at times, and obviously we're delighted that we got the win.
It's always good when the captain scores. How did you feel getting on the score sheet tonight?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Obviously, it's great to contribute in that way. I think as well to get a clean sheet was important. That's something that in the past, we've cost ourselves silly goals, so it was good to also get that as well.
And great delivery from Caroline for the goal.
Yeah, as always.
Don't need to say that.
Thanks very much. Good luck for Tuesday.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Sar chluchitad again, Caroline Weir. I guess Rachel Corsi who had the key tool, and Suzanne, this is the third one, a clear penalty. The high challenge from Franja and Martha Thomas, and Caroline Weir does what she does from the spot.
Yeah, she does what she does best, compose, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, and it was a perfect end to the game for Scotland with Tuesday night in mind.
And that, as we saw from the table, Suzanne, that game is now massive with a chance to go top if they win that game.
It's a massive game, Finland will be a tough opponent opposed to here tonight, and Scotland need to be on top of their game, cut out those mistakes and really be firing in all cylinders to take the 3 points.
Great, Suzanne. Thanks for your analysis tonight. More than thanks, Suzanne. I guess Jich Masalas and Coram Chinarkina, Gia China show at BBC Alapa. Madag as hier is rugby park is on a game as the Friav League etter Kilavarnik. I guess Ibski Shin like Shia within Fisker. I guess Norsen Jadani, Hitchun the rugby, Fapis Shia Tuchen and Naban Alapa. Agus rang Shinnatonshach Jich Minachin Stewie Iga. Agus Megedi Marashin the Viprini, Game More Ashin, Jamar Sachin, Howland Helsinki, Agus Skipper Tolanoya, Channel Manager, Anna Signol, Agus Karamachagol, Gomulach, Napuina, Maniachin, Agus Hishavigamshin, Jamarsh, Agus Shinnatonshach, Koik Minachin, as Stewie. Okay, Shinula the Hina show at BBC Alapa.
Wel, sinna go heb ma fod Tynecastle yn leichi noch. Fod yn gael op y 3 canonis at y nes siach gemach yn gêm y chawl agos is gybiad lan misnach gynesht y dolos siach yn y gêm sin yn neu fiwlan dy mars gêm y fys ac yn y bio i'r BBC Alapa. Mae sin leif ys Tyngfwr as yn fi'n arcwydioch.
But I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop. But my heart goes